How will you create a unique identity, sir? Will you link this number to some other national, identity process, whether it is the Aadhaar number or a passport number or something else? How will you make sure that every individual in the country who wants to enroll in this has a unique identity?
Yeah. So to start with, we are allowing two types of verifications. One, you can use Aadhaar, and then in that case, our system talks to Aadhaar server and verifies the person. The other option is to use your mobile number. In the long run, we may consider adding other alternative options like passport, PAN, driving license. But right now, we have rolled out the system using these two identifiers. Either use your Aadhaar number or use your mobile number, and then create your health ID.
But with mobile numbers, so won't you have the issue, especially in a lot of semi-urban rural areas where more than one member of the family might be using the same mobile, or there might be just one or two phones in a family of 4 or 5 people, that you would have more than one identity linked to that number then?
So we are definitely allowing more than one accounts to be linked to more one mobile, exactly because of the reason that you are just quoting, exactly for the same reason. And in fact, somebody not having Aadhaar and mobile, he also can have a health ID created whenever he has his first interaction with any healthcare provider at the counter in healthcare provider.
And that could be linked to, like you said, Aadhaar, or how will you verify who is who? Like if you had to verify that I am Menaka Doshi and that you wanted to make sure that my records are attached to me individually and not confused with any other Menaka Doshi, how would you do that, especially in groups which might share the same phone number or where phone numbers might change or things like that?
See, as far as Aadhaar verified numbers are concerned, there is no question. When you give your Aadhaar number, it will get verified only if Menaka Doshi's OTP is being submitted in the system, which will go to Menaka Doshi's phone number. Now come to the second point, that mobile-based verification. Now you will create your health ID and go and have interaction with a doctor. So you have to visualize the present the NDH ecosystem as a digital version of existing system. So whenever you interact with the doctor, what he does, he gives you a couple of papers which has medical reports, prescriptions, so on and so forth. What we are contemplating is that instead of giving those physical copies to you, he will ask your health ID, for which you will get prompt or a notification on your app, or you will get an OTP, the way it happens while interaction with the of two different systems. And that will be transferred from his system to your mobile or your laptop once you share the OTP. Now you, for example, Menaka Doshi going and meeting a doctor, he will send an OTP. It will come obviously on your mobile, which you are supposed to share with him, or you will get a notification on your mobile which you are supposed to share yes for sharing, and then only the data exchange happens. So the system ensures that records will reach the intended beneficiaries only, and it is not possible that some other Menaka Doshi will receive OTP and she will obviously not give consent because she knows that she's not with the doctor. So there are enough checks and balances in the system to ensure that the records reaches correct person.
Okay, I'll come back to the issue of checks and balances and security, but I do want to clarify a couple of other things which I know many people are confused about. This is a voluntary process, right? Citizens can opt in to have this number or choose not to have it at all and continue with the way they're currently, accessing health services. Is that right?
Yeah, true. It is a voluntary for choose log, and even for voluntary opt out is also there. You join it, and after a while you feel that okay, I don't want to continue in the system, then you can opt out as well. So this is something like having an email ID. But there is a reason why we have kept it voluntary. We presume that the system has so much of advantages. See, even now we haven't made email, for example, as mandatory, right? But still everybody ends up having an email ID because the advantages are so much. We presume that people will realize advantages which the system brings, and people will join voluntarily and very proactively.
Okay. Will it also be opt-in for doctors and healthcare centers and hospitals and primary healthcare centers, etc., or will it be mandatory for them? And I come to the question of then how are you going to incentivize them to ensure that they all have the same system within themselves that talks to this national health center and is able to share information seamlessly across the country?
It is the incentives are inbuilt. If a person, a doctor joins DigiDoctor, or a health facility joins health facilities registry, it is making itself available when the patient searches on his mobile for, let us say, nearest orthopedic surgeon in Delhi, or in whichever place. So he is onboarding himself or his facility on the platform, making him available for consultation. So it's the biggest advantage that doctor has. Second advantage is obviously the ease of access for the medical history of the patient for providing better healthcare. So these two are big enough incentives for them to join. Oh, it is not mandatory for these doctors and hospitals to join, but we are sure that given the kind of benefits that the system offers, they also will join in a big number. In fact, we are very pleased to share that in 6 union territories, doctors and hospitals have already started enrolling on the platform. They have realized the importance. I have had extensive interactions with the stakeholders, and I don't see any reason or any concern among them for not joining.